we have a Magda and a Mama. And me, Amy.
Yay!
We're doing something super exciting today because Magda and I were talking about Camp Seasonathon. And Magda, what did you tell me?
So I told her I was on Camp Rainbow, which is Clint's team.
Yes, and then I am on Camp Kaylani's team. Well, I'm on Kaylani's team, which is, I'm calling it Camp Kaylani.
And then I was like, ooh, we should pick Shazza's books. And we'll put her on Team Melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put her on. This isn't my choice.
Well, we thought it would be more fun if we were all playing together, but, you know.
On different teams.
All on different teams. We're competing against each other. Just want to jump in really quickly and say, Mom absolutely loves Melanie. She loves Melanie's channel, and she's really excited to be on Melanie's team. It's just that she's not good at committing to things. So committing for readathons is hard for her. So if she seems like she's not excited, it's not because of that. It's because she was like, you're going to make me do what? But she's totally into it now, and she's already recorded points for Melanie's team.
What do we win if we win?
Self-respect.
Yeah.
Queen of the book club.
Queen of the books. Queen of the books.
We have fun.
Okay.
And you will have fun. You're going to be reading anyways, so you might as well have planned reads.
Yeah.
Planned by...
So we chose her books completely based off the prompts from Melanie's spins from her TBR game. So we're going to be going over our TBRs collectively together. We'll go round robin, and each of us will say our first prompt from our team and what book we'll be reading for it. And then what?
And then we can't start reading until next week.
Yes.
No.
And then, okay, and then we'll start reading our books on June 1st. I keep sweating. My glasses just keep clogging up.
You're so excited. Don't get so excited.
Don't be so excited, so nervous, so whatever.
As far as the information for this particular readathon goes, it goes for the whole month of June, and it's being hosted by 3 hosts, which are Mel from Completely Melanie, Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me, and Clint from Reed's Readers. And they've been doing this seasonathon every season for, gosh, quite a few years, I think. This particular one is based on camping, going camping. And they're each doing something completely different this time. They're playing prompts based off what they've done on their TBR games. So each person had their own announcement video where they played 10 rounds. I think
Yes,
10
I
rounds.
believe so, yeah.
And then we picked prompts based off that. So first and foremost,
She's sweating again. Look at that.
I'm still sweating.
Try to put your glasses a teeny bit down your nose so that the sweat doesn't get on your
The
glasses.
heavy side.
If you want any information on the announcements, you'd like to check it all out, look in the description box below. I will list everything there. Yes, right in my head. And one other thing that's really unique about the Seasonathons is that they always have an author that they do an interview of, and they usually have the group book being one of the author's books. So this time around, we're going to be reading The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. This is the book that every team will be reading. This is a really pretty YA fantasy book, and I've really wanted
I know how Sharon feels now.
and I've actually really wanted to read this one for quite a while. What is it about? Oh, I already talked about this book.
Are the witches each
Control the seasons, right?
depending on what month they were, what season they
Or
were
the
born
weather.
in. The
Was it
climate. It says climate.
Okay.
And there's starting to be climate control problems, and one witch can actually control all 4 seasons, and they want her to help, and she's not wanting to. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, her
trying to
name's-
get her to.
Listen to
I
you
read it.
know
I read
in
it.
the description.
I just
know.
read it online.
I was like, don't worry, I'll do it, Mom. But look at this, Mom, pull it in.
Woohoo!
So we'll all be reading this.
Well, I'll be listening to it.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll all be reading it in some form or another. So as you can see here, we were having way too much fun, and we didn't really have a great introduction into this next section. So we're going to be going round robin through all the books that we chose based off the prompts from our own camp teams. So Mom's going to be starting with Team Melanie, and the very first spin that Melanie did was for a contemporary novel.
Magda and Amy chose XOXO. They decided, because they're choosing all my books, Amy'd run around and look for a book that's at home, and Magda and her would decide on it. This one looks like a really cute one, though. It's a romance, and it starts in Los Angeles where they two meet, and then the guy disappears. She goes to South Korea to go to school. He's at her school there. So that's the book.
Yeah, and it's by Axie Oh, who is a Korean author.
Oh, I forgot.
Magda, it's your turn.
Ooh, okay. So my first prompt was oldest book on my TBR.
Oh.
I chose The Story Sisters by Alice Hoffman.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I have no idea what it's about.
So it's going to be one that you get to figure out while you're reading.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is that part of the Practical Magic series?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool. I like Alice Hoffman's writing.
Yeah, I'm kind of working my way through her whole catalog, so it's
Fun. What's yours, Amy?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on, let me look. So my very first prompt was a book I never thought I would read. And this is definitely a book I never thought I would read because I'm going to be reading I Married a Lizard Man by Regina Abel.
I love that book.
I know. And after watching Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin review this, I was like, oh yeah, no, there's just no way I'm going to read it. It was cute. And then her and Shell have been loving that series. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just not really interested in monster porn.
Why not?
I love it. Monster porn.
It is, basically.
But pretty much when this prompt came up, I was like, well, the first thing that came to my mind of something I said I would never read was I Married a Lizard Man. So apparently I have some interest in reading it because it came up right away when I thought about that.
That's
So.
hilarious.
So I'm just going to save that for if that prompt ever comes up for me, because, yeah.
No, these books are fun.
If you hear a lot of noise in the background, Cece is going crazy because, yeah,
She's too excited.
she's really excited that we're filming. She thinks something is happening and she's going nuts. So just beware.
That background noise is the dog.
And if I keep taking my glasses off and I'm
sweating.
going crazy.
She's sweating.
I'm excited about the Lizard Man.
You will be. Okay, number 2. My next book has to be an anthology, and Amy
That's
and
right.
Magda picked out Steinbeck's short novels. There's 6 novels in this book, and they're reality based. You know Steinbeck. I'm looking forward to it. I've read a couple of them. I don't know if I'll reread them. We'll see. But 6 short novels here in an anthology of his stories.
Yeah, so we were looking at different anthologies that I had around the house, and I didn't have a lot, but I did have that one readily available because I'm going to be reading some Steinbeck this month, and I was like, well, Mom's kind of liked some of Steinbeck's works before, and we've been interested in reading more about Steinbeck ever since, we lived in the Monterey area, and we've gone to the museum, and we've done all that stuff, and so I thought Mom might actually enjoy that. I hope.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. So my next prompt is a middle grade mystery new author.
Oh.
And I chose The 100-Year-Old Secret by Tracy Bennett. And again, I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I know it's 2 siblings, Xander and I forget, it also starts with an X. There's some kind of a mystery to solve.
Ooh.
And it sounded really interesting. And we'll see. I think it might actually be the beginning of a series, so we'll see. I love mystery books, so it's perfect for me.
Have you read a lot of mystery books for middle grade?
A lot of middle grade, if there's mysteries, not necessarily specifically called a mystery book. There's some mystery in it, but it's not completely. A lot of times it's like a mixed genre, so it's like fantasy and there's mystery in it, or stuff like that. I use the blind and reading disabled library, and so I popped in mystery stories basically, and then I just started looking at middle grade books, and this was actually the first one that popped up.
Sounds
and it
good.
sounded interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it sounds cute too.
Yeah.
So my second book prompt is 2021 release. And for this one, I'm going to pop on Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. I'm telling you, this book is covering so many things for the month of June.
So good.
I've read it.
I loved it so much.
It's one of my favorite book for last year.
It's a male adult. It's adult sci-fi,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of politics in this one, but I've heard, well, I like politics, so it doesn't bother me, but I've heard that it's really enjoyable.
It is.
And I'm not a huge fan of the politics, but in here, it actually
was
made
well
sense,
done.
and it was well
done.
and it didn't irritate me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's same here. Same here, because I'm not political.
I'm excited. Okay, good.
Cool.
Good.
Woo! A book with a number in it.
Yeah.
5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I've been wanting to read it for a while, but we lent it to my aunt, so I just got it back, and I'm excited about reading it. I don't know what it's about. Oh, wait. I have a little thing. It's about murder and mayhem in the Empire.
That's a really interesting synopsis.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really.
There was that said they almost murdered everybody in this empire, and this kid is he's part of the royalty, and they killed his family off, so he's going to try to fix things.
You're reading the wrong book.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh really?
I
that
thought
is
it
a
was a she, not a he.
Yeah.
Oh,
are you thinking of Dune?
No. It says it's a fantasy, murder and mayhem for his family in the empires. That's what I read.
That's not at all it. Okay, so
I can't tell you what it's about at all.
It's basically like geology magic. It's about this world has these seasons where there's like catastrophic events that happen that change the whole face of the planet.
Yeah,
and
I
people
read that.
try to survive through it. It's about a woman named Essen, and she's trying to protect her family. She finds out right in the beginning that her husband has murdered her son and has taken off with her daughter. And so it's this journey to try to get her children back. So
I did write another wrong one.
you wrote it completely wrong. Mom's face was like, oh.
All right, so my next one is a paranormal adult book. Originally, I had it that I was going to read The King of Plagues by Jonathan Mayberry. Again, I have no idea what it's about, but I just started Wolf Song series by TJ Klune.
Oh.
I have a feeling that I will be reading books 2, 3, and 4 in June. So I may just end up changing that to that prompt.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds like a good. That sounds like a smart change. So my next prompt is an ebook, and this is where I'm going to be doubling up because I Married a Lizard Man by Regina Abel for this one as well because Mom bought it on ebook. So I was like looking through my Kindle. I was like, oh, I Married a Lizard Man. Okay, perfect.
You're doubling up, huh?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? I'm not a fast reader like you guys are.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm doing 3 readathons.
Oh, that's right.
Oh gosh darn.
Number 4 is a book that involves games. And boy, Magda and Amy just shouted this out at the same time. They said the inheritance games. By Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And I hope I got this right. It's about a young girl that seems to inherit a fortune from somebody. I don't even know if she knows him. But she must go live in the house. There's his 4 grandsons living in the house. And they got to play games to get through to the end. To really, I guess, determine who gets the actual inheritance. Rich guy. Lots of stuff. Playing a game when he died. That's mean.
Mostly correct.
Yeah, mean.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Both of you guys agreed.
That's a book that I think I made Magda and Shell read, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make Mom read it. I haven't read it yet.
Did Shell like it too?
Yes, she did.
And Shell hasn't read the second one yet either, right? I'm the only one.
I don't think she has. No.
So the second one was really good, and without any spoilers, it really goes into interesting places and reveals some interesting things.
So you might have to pick that one up right afterwards.
Yeah. More books.
Magda's like, yeah. Mom's like, yeah.
Okay, what's Magda's next
Okay,
prompt?
so if I remember correctly, my next prompt is a graphic novel. Of course, as some of you guys know, I'm actually reading disabled, and so I can't actually see a graphic novel well enough to be able to read them. I only do audiobooks. So I had a thought today, and I am going to request that you guys write down in the comments what prompt from one of the other 2 teams you think I should do, and even give me a recommendation of what book I should read. And then I'll go through all of those, and I will, answer in the comments what my choice is going to be. What?
I just realized, I know you, Magda. You're going to do all of
That's so true. Oh my
Well,
God.
maybe, but
Oh my
I
gosh.
already have like 50 books down, and I have 40 that I've already committed myself to for whatever-a-thon. So I may actually only choose, and there could be some that I've already read.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. But if I read
Your
more than
choice.
one,
You
I
guys
will
get a
definitely
helper.
say it.
Yeah. My next one is a contemporary. So I also had a contemporary as a prompt. And I'm going to be reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So I don't really actually know what this one's about. Who's read it? Mom's read it. Do you know what it's about?
I've read it.
Oh, you've read it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you like it?
I did.
What's it about?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I know, and I think I read it too. I mean, there's a library involved. Come on.
I have a vague idea in my head, but
She was kind of depressed or something and went into the library and ended up finding books were making friends with her or something like that. I can't, something. She could kind of go in the books or the books came out to her. I don't remember something like that.
Well, I know
It'll be a
that
surprise for Amy.
this first line says, between life and death, there is a library. So I like that.
Midnight Library. Number 5 for me is a graphic novel.
And again, she can read those.
And LGBTQIA is what I want for June. So Amy picked out Genderqueer by Maia Kobabe. And I'm really excited about it.
Yes, it's a story about identity. So it's about identity and sexuality for Maia Kobabe.
It does say it's a graphic novel, autobiography, kind of like self-identity. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, it looks really good, and I'm excited to hear. Well, I'm going to be reading it too, so, but not for this.
Not for this? Oh, okay. But so I get to read it first. Yay!
So it's my turn for a contemporary novel.
Oh, what?
Oh!
An author I've read before. Now, when I first chose this, I was using my definition of what I consider contemporary. Amy and I have since had a discussion and have agreed to disagree in regards to what we think is a contemporary.
Yep.
So I am going to be reading From Potter's Field by Patricia Cornwall. It's a continuation of a series of Case Carpetta, who is a medical examiner. It's been an interesting ride so far, so...
So my definition of contemporary is only specific when it comes to my game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay that it's a mystery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
Because it's not involving your game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I take that back then. It gets so confusing. It really does.
There's rules. I have rules.
My game,
My rules.
Yep, that's right.
So Kaylani's next spin was her 22 books in the year 2022, but I don't have one of those videos, so she said you could also make it a top priority book. Right. And so one of my top priority books is All Systems Red by Martha Wells, because this is a series I want to get into, and it's also on my TBR game. So I'm excited to be able to add this onto the readathon, and it's a nice short one.
Yeah, she might actually finish this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've read this whole series because Amy picked up that book on one of our book crawls, and I love it. It involves, is it a robot? An
Murder
IE.
bot, yeah.
An
Murder
IE,
bot.
a murder bot. And
AI.
AI. Did I say IE?
Yes.
It involves an AI machine, and it's so good. I love the whole series, so I'm really glad to get to read that.
Yeah, and I have the whole. I actually think I've read the first one before, but I recently downloaded the whole series, and so sometime this summer I'll.
They're
read
fun.
the whole-
They're really fun. There's comedy and everything. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So now we're down to number 6, and I got random letter generator, and the girls
right.
of course got a V. Victor, Victorious, whatever. But the book they actually picked for me is a fantasy called Vicious by VE Schwab.
VE Schwab.
What?
VE Schwab.
Okay. Well, whoever she is.
Victoria, I can't remember what her middle
Elizabeth,
name is,
maybe.
and Schwab.
But this one sounds really good. It's 2 roommates discover how to create extraordinary abilities. That kind of sounds scary. And it was.
By like cheating death.
They're college students. Yes. So they do some stupid things in college, and they actually get extraordinary abilities. And then one of them ends up in prison.
Ooh.
So that's all I know is from what I read on Goodreads.
I have it on my list.
Have any of you guys read it?
No, I want to read that one
It
so
sounds
bad.
really good.
My next one is a favorite author.
Oh.
And that was really exciting for me because I'm rereading a series from one of my favorite authors, which is Mr. James Rollins.
Ooh.
And I'm reading The Doomsday Key. It's a Sigma Force novel. And it is a suspense thriller. I don't remember exactly what this one is, which is part of the fun. It's a group of special forces type people that all have like PhDs in chemistry and biology and all sorts of, higher science. And they go around the world to stop plague threats or other types of
How many books
bad
in
things.
the series?
I know he just released his latest one.
Oh, so it's continuing series.
Oh yeah, he's still working on it. 13 or 14 of them now.
That's a lot.
So it's a really great series.
Is that yours was really favorite author?
He's one of mine, yeah.
No, I mean that was your prompt.
Yeah.
Because that's my prompt too.
Oh,
Same one?
Yeah.
cool.
So my prompt was favorite author, and I'm going with Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb because I would say she has become a favorite author. So I just realized that we completely forgot to give any kind of description for Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in the third series in the whole Realm of the Elderling world. So Robin Hobb has created this series of books that takes place in this world, and it's called the Realm of the Elderlings. But within that greater series, there are little trilogies and one quartet of books that have different parts of the story. So this is called the Tawny Man trilogy, and this brings us back to some characters that we fell in love with in the Farseer trilogy called Fitz and the Fool. So I can't really give you much more information about this because it would be really spoilery, but there are things that I have learned from the Farseer trilogy and from the Lightship Traders trilogy that I can't wait to learn more about in Fool's Errand. So I'm really excited about starting this trilogy, and I can't wait to get back to Fool and Fitz because Fool in particular is one of my favorite characters.
So my next book is Book with a Monster. Any kind of mystery that people are doing nasty things, those are monsters. So I'm actually going to read Stealing Shadows by Kay Hooper, and this was a gift that Magda gave me.
Yay!
I was the one that actually suggested it for that prompt because I know that the monsters in these books are very evil. And so I think they very much qualify as monsters. So yeah, I'm excited for her to read it.
Apparently there's a woman psychic called Cassie who has to enter the mind of the killer to discover where he's at and to help catch him. That sounds scary. I've got the chills.
That does sound scary.
What's your number 7, Magda?
Oh, that's me. My next one is one of my first queer novels.
Ooh.
This one's going to be a sapphic. I have decided to read Honey Girl by Lisa Freeman. I know it was a big thing, and for some reason I never really had a desire to read it. But when I looked up sapphic novels, it popped up, and then I read the description, and it actually kind of intrigued me. It's about a girl that is transplanted from Hawaii to Santa Monica, and then just kind of how she has to deal with her mother and the mean girls at school and all of that.
Ooh, that sounds good.
But yeah, and I thought, well, I love Hawaii, and I'm from the Bay Area in California, but I always love books that are, placed in areas that I'm familiar with. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And then my 7th book is a prequel. I say prequel here, but what I mean is sequel. And for my prequel, I'm going to be reading Prince Caspian, which is the 2nd book in the publication order for the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. So this is a read-along that I'm doing during the summer, and I will put the announcement video down in the description box below in case you wanted to join us.
Come join us!
Yay!
Yay!
And so we'll be reading all of these, and Prince Caspian is the 2nd one. I'm really excited about this series. I don't know, I just feel like it's one of those series everybody should read if they like fantasy.
Yeah.
Especially
it's a classic.
I haven't had the best of luck with older fantasy lately though, so we'll see.
I remember enjoying it, but again, it's been years since I read it also. My next prompt was set in an alternate world, and this one was easy. Amy kind of let me choose this. It's Dune by Frank Herbert. We bought the book months ago because I've been wanting to read it again. Oh, I didn't show the shadows either. Look at the beautiful book we bought. I read Dune years ago, so this is a reread for me, but I can't wait to read it again. And I guess it got really popular because a new version of the adaptation came out.
Yeah, a new movie came out.
I haven't watched it, but Look at this book. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm excited. It's a big old fat chunker, so it's going to take me a while, but I can read it. And so I'm excited.
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
But it is set in an
alternate world.
An alternate world.
Universe,
So I'm actually glad that ladies let me have this one.
We're generous.
That's right.
I never showed that book.
Oh. All right, so my next book is another queer, and this is a trans or non-binary character. Ooh. And this is actually a Shaz recommendation. It's Light from Uncommon Stars by Reika Aoki. I'm sorry, the pronunciation is probably horrible. Again, honestly, I have no idea what it's about, but Sharon here rated a 5-star and raved about it on one of Amy's vlogs. So I immediately put it on my list to read in June, and now it also works for a prompt.
I can't exactly remember what it was either, but
sci-fi.
It's sci-fi.
Oh, it is sci-fi. YA sci-fi.
And it was just illuminating.
Ooh.
It says like
She doesn't remember what it's about, but she knows.
It's illuminating. and I'm going to jump ahead because my next prompt is a 5-star prediction. And I am actually doubling it up for once in my life. And I am putting that same book down as my 5-star prediction.
Yay! It's a good book. You'll love it.
Light from Uncommon Stars. You can't
Besides,
remember.
I have multiple predictions for 5 stars. So
okay.
So my next one was a TBR jar pick, and these ones are always fun. Not necessarily the most convenient because it takes all my power away, but I'm gonna go with my quick up because these are all the books that I really want to read, or books that are really easy. Like I think they'll be quick reads, and we're gonna see what I get. I have a whole bunch of books in there, and let's hope it's something good. I mean, they're all good in this jar, or at least easy. Okay. Oh, can you see that? So it's The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and I'm actually really excited about this one because it's short. And I've heard such good things about it. I've been wanting to read it. So this is why I doubled up for this one for the first prompt that I talked about, and I'm really excited about this one. And it's a nice little short book, so we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, my 9th prompt was a book with sprayed edges. And Amy found this book that has beautiful dark green sprayed edges, and it is called Jade Fire Gold June CL10. But look at those. Isn't that nice? Where'd you get that?
This was a Al Crate book when I
okay.
was still getting Al Crate, regular Al Crate.
Oh, okay, because I don't remember getting this. So I'm looking forward to this. This one is a YA fantasy. There's a person named Anne and Alton, and they try to help each other meet their goals. Don't remember if there is paranormal or something.
They look like they're fighters or something. Yeah, there must be. It's fantasy, so there must be some kind of magic.
Yes, one of them has more magic than the others and trying to achieve a goal, and the other one's trying to achieve some kind of goal. On and out. Hi. They see each other as a way to achieve their own goals.
Why don't you do your book 10 since Magda's already done her book 9?
Okay. Hey, last but not least, book number 10, which we almost forgot. It's a book with an adaptation. And so we're actually doing a group read on this. City of Glass by Cassandra. What are you laughing about? Cassandra Clare. And it's next in our series that we're reading. What month are we supposed to? Is it June?
That's for June.
Oh, perfect. I get to read our June read in June.
Why do you think we chose it?
I don't know why you chose any of the ones you chose, but it was fun. It was fun. These girls did a good job of choosing books for me.
10 is another queer book.
Okay.
And this one, I believe, was my choice. And I'm reading Felix Ever After.
Oh, I love that one.
By
Case and Calendar.
Thank you.
Case and Calendar.
So, and again, I remember reading the description last year in June, but I didn't get around to reading it, and it's just been on my download list since then. And I remember that
I read
you
it last
loved
June.
it.
Yes.
So I'm finally reading it, but again, right now I cannot tell you anything about the
I couldn't
book.
either because Amy picked out at least 17 to 18 LBGT books last June for me. And I picked up even more that month. So I probably read about 23 or 24 LGBTQIA plus books. So that was a good one. I just don't remember what it was about.
So I also have a 5-star prediction book. Yay. And this one's actually on my 5-star prediction list for the year. And so this is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. This is a nice, wonderful romance about Renaissance fairs.
Which we love.
Down where Magda lives, we used to go to the amazing Renaissance fair that they have in Gilroy. And it's such a good Renaissance fair. And we don't get to go anymore. Yeah.
So we have to read about
we
it.
dressed up and we did the whole
did.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Big old turkey
Yeah.
leg,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
We're
no,
into
no
it.
turkey leg for me.
Yeah.
I did the turkey leg.
Yeah.
We're into it. And so,
You're
like,
way into it.
I went to the Renaissance fair up here a couple years ago, and it was nothing. It was nothing.
Well, I mean, the Northern California Ren Fair has been around for so many years.
I mean, I went before Amy was born.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, I started off when they were still originally in Marin County.
Yes, I did too.
You know, and then
One year they had it up at the Nut Tree.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that was
remember
when they were
too.
transitioning.
Too hot up there.
Yeah.
And then they found Gilroy.
Yeah, and that's been perfect.
Marin County was the best, though. That was
It
the
really
best
was.
location
It
because
really
it was
was.
in the woods.
It was perfect.
It still is an amazing Renaissance fair, and so I'm hoping to get the Renaissance vibes that I don't get in real life.
She's going to get it because I love that book. I
did
love the
too.
whole series.
Good.
I'm so excited because I think I overheard or read or something somewhere that the next one comes out like in December. So I cannot wait.
Yeah, I read the whole
yeah.
series too that they had. I
Yeah.
didn't know another one was coming
But
out.
yeah, reading the first one really gave me the
Renaissance.
Ren vibes. So I think you really will get them as well and love it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, good.
I'm
good.
excited for you.
I can't wait.
Maybe I have to reread it.
Oh, yeah.
And then my 10th book is a 2022 release. And because I have so many books this month, I wanted to keep it very, very easy for myself. So I picked a graphic novel called Chef's Kiss by Hank Jones, Jarrett Melendez, Danica Brind.
The way you say that.
I didn't write it very well, so I'm not sure what it is. And Hassan Otsmar El Haoun. That's pronounced very poorly. I don't know what this is about. It's a chef. It's about a chef. I think it's
And
about
my
a young
daughter is a chef. She's
So we're going to rename it as Amy's Kiss.
Amy's Kiss. I got a culinary degree a long time ago. It just came out recently. It sounds cute, and it's a graphic novel. So, you know, if I do a 48-hour readathon this month, those are great to pick up for 48-hour readathons.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that one. And that's it. That's it for our TBRs.
Yay! So we just need somebody to give Magda suggestions, and
Yes.
that'll be all our book lists.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing Camp Seasonathon in all of June.
Yeah.
We'll have to put a tent out in the backyard while we read.
Yes.
Oh, but I'll be gone
I
by
know.
then.
I'm sorry.
You will be there in spirit.
Yeah.
You'll be in the tent with us. this
Because
week.
our annual camping trip isn't until August.
That's right. That's right.
So.
I know.
Oh well, I'll figure something out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see more of our
Amy.
adventures. Yes, we'll have to do some kind of fun update. Maybe you can send me a little video clip or something
I
like
could
that
probably send you a little video
about
clip.
your update. But stay tuned so that you can see what happens in the month of June while we're doing our Camp
it's gonna be
Seasonathon.
fun.
So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later.
Bye.